Alright, I thought of one. So while I'm demonetized anyway, let me talk a bit about Virtua Fighter, the animation, Season 2. This is the season that did not get English dubbed by Media Blasters for reasons I don't really know, but I can kinda speculate on. I know TMS is a bit weird like that, and yeah! But yeah, I think in this video I will go over a bit of not so much the plot synopsis, because there's other places on the internet which have that, but I think I want to go into a bit of how the season is different in terms of presentation and tone from Season 1. So let me take a shot at that. I am not going to do this episode by episode for now, mostly because there is a chance I might need to save that kind of content for later, and also because I'd like to have this subtitled before I do so. But I would like to comment on the opening scene of Season 2 here, which is basically a scene where a bunch of ninjas get killed. It kind of sets the tone for the entirety of the season, which has a lot more ninjas and a lot more death than Season 1. Throughout the season, notable anime original characters get killed off, usually one by one up until the show is over. And considering how these characters tend to not even show up in the plot synopsis on the internet, it kinda makes the dying feel a bit gratuitous, I'd say. Like, maybe there's a lot of it that seems to be there just for the sake of it. A bit weird for an anime that didn't have that much of that going on in the first season. I'm guessing the writers wanted a quick way to raise the stakes and darken the tone of the story a bit, but it tends to feel a bit cheap at times and not really have the effect it's intended to. This is probably in part because you could predict who dies by who's not a character in the video games already. Another thing that's notably different is fight presentation. You might remember in Season 1 there were a lot of scenes where the action stopped to give you a play-by-play detail of a character's certain martial arts move. That never happens in this season. While you might think those scenes from Season 1 are boring, they also gave a sense of grounding to the fight scenes, and at least gave the perception that they're a bit more realistic than other anime, something which I think the second season kinda discards. Then, as you go into the last few episodes, you have a couple prolonged fights where you spend half of them watching the main characters get beaten to a pulp, only for them to kinda... Hold on. Near the end of the series are some fights where the main characters spend the majority of the battles getting beaten to a pulp, only to turn around and win at the last second due to anime logic, I guess. I don't know, maybe that stuff happened in Season 1 and I just didn't notice, but I think because of the way Season 2 is presented, it stands out more. Because Season 2 is only 10 episodes long, there's very little time for the slower moments that you may have appreciated in Season 1. That means way less slapstick, way less ship teases, and way less squirrel. What else can I say? I'm not the best at judging animation quality, so don't take my whole word as gospel for this, but I would say, in regards to Virtua Fighter Season 2's animation, it looks more or less on par with Season 1. I'd say it looks better in some scenes and worse in others, but overall, it's alright. I mean, maybe that kind of barometer's not that great. Virtua Fighter Season 1 wasn't exactly a high-budget anime. It has a lot of those 90s anime shortcuts, as does this. But you know, it's the kind of anime I watched when I was a kid, so, you know, I'm fine with that. I spent a small amount of time trying to intentionally look for off-model shots in the anime, and so far I think the closest I got is this thing here, where Akira looks like he doesn't have eyes. Oh, apologies for that pronunciation, guys. I grew up with the Streamlined Pictures dub of that movie, and that pronunciation is stuck in my head, and I can't get it out. One more thing I'll point out before I run out of generalizations about the anime is the opening song. It has vocals by Takanobu Mitsuyoshi, the guy who sings Daytona USA. It's a very nice touch for this anime, and I kinda wish that more anime had original music composed by the guys who actually compose for the video games. It's probably not gonna happen, but I did want to point that out. Actually, now that I think about it, didn't they not use that song in many of the international versions of this? That's very unfortunate. I wonder if getting the rights to the song is one of the problems with getting a license to dub Season 2. And if it is, it's especially an issue because you kinda don't really want to dub over Takanobu Mitsuyoshi. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think that's all I got for now. If I am still demonetized for like a bit longer, maybe I will do this episode by episode. But I'm gonna need to find some subtitles for that first, so I can do, you know, the whole episode synopsis thing like I did with Bug-tte Honey. But that's for later. Thank you all for watching this. Even though it is low budget as heck, I will see you all later.